What's going on, guys? It's Shadow bringing you. I believe this was the last round to Sully's. The other round was another Dofi match, which ended up just like the other one, except we went to time. I'm facing a Yamato. I believe this is like her first couple games of actually playing the game, so you're gonna see a lot of questions being asked, and I'm just gonna spend the time to answer. But I ended up winning, and I chose to go second, specifically just to go on curve. I know Yamato half the time likes to just go hard hat holiday, attach everything, and swing big. Um, and I'm gonna end up using stage, chucking dot Q and grabbing a 2K counter. I specifically chucked the dot Q just because, again, Yamato's not really gonna play anybody till late game, and I decided to do leader ability turn 2 in case decides to play something big. In all honesty, I probably shouldn't have I should have just let her play out the turn how she wanted to. Because most Yamatos are just gonna put all 3 down, swing big with their leader. But here she attempts to play Hiori. I let her take it back because again, Blackbeard is new. Still a lot of people trying to learn the deck, so I don't know what she was thinking of doing. It was probably a potential Hiori to maybe a Nami, because I believe she did have a Nami to set up her life in case I did swing so she could remove a body on my side of the field. But it ended up working out for me doing my leader ability turn 2, so risk wasn't that bad. And I did opt to take, well, I could have countered out. Believe I had the 2Ks in hand, but I take the first hit from Yamato. Usually I do this all the time just so that I can get more options in my hand, and it's better for me as Blackbeard because who knows what I'm going to find, because I'm specifically looking for these Vasco shots to help me through the rest of this game. I swing 5 at her leader. She's going to counter out here. Not sure how Yamato players usually want to do it. Majority of the time, I would like to take the first hit to see if I trigger out a body and put more pressure on my opponent. But she opts to counter out with the Nami from OP8 or OP7. I believe that one was OP8, which is the activate main, trash a trigger, KO a 5 cost body. So that could have been what she was potentially setting up in her life. So working around it. I do chuck the Burgess to activate leader ability, and I play out the Vasco shot. Not too worried about Burgess, just because I am able to look through the deck. I have the Lafitte on the field, and I do have the stage. So I'm banking on her just potentially swinging big at my leader so I could just give the Vasco shot up and keep my Lafitte up so I can continue searching. I am only running 3 Vasco shots in the deck currently, so I'm really banking on seeing all 3 copies in this matchup. The main goal for me is to go late game, so she ends up putting all the Don on leader and swinging. I believe it was 10k. Give her the Vasco shot. Don't want to drop to 1 yet. And I have 4 Don left on the side. I believe I have a Burgess in the hand, but I'm trying to see my options. Oh, I find a Burgess off stage, so might be setting up. I do have the Vasco shot in hand, so I have my play, which is going to be Burgess to Vasco shot. I'm filling up the trash, so Burgess will be a 7k body. And I do put the dice on there so she knows. And I tap 2 for Vasco. I ended up swinging 5. You see she ends up taking it. And I'm going to chuck a Lafitte for my leader ability. So it leaves me with 10 cards. 2 more and Burgess will be an 8k. In actuality, I know Yamato likes to just swing big, but I feel like in the Blackbeard matchup, you still kind of have to go wide. So if she had another Nami in hand, it would have probably been more beneficial to play out the Nami, even if she couldn't get the trigger off, but just to be able to swing at the Blackbeard. Even if she played or left the Hiori, she could have attached the Don and, potentially swung at that Lafitte. So it's just, there's not many 1-drops you could play in Yamato where it doesn't feel so bad. Even playing Onami, you don't get banished, but you do have that body to swing at my little one. So there's always benefits to it. But She's gonna swing big again. I end up taking the Vasco shot. Not sure what she's got in hand. I know she's got a counter card. Looking back at the video, and I think a Hody Jones. But even on that turn, on her 7-Don turn, swinging just 5, and then playing a Hody would have been the best thing she could have probably done there. But again, this is where, you know, running reps with the deck gets you better. And she's still fresh, so you can, again, she's still learning it. Burgess is up to 8K now with that last trash. I'm potentially looking for something else to play. I end up just finding the stage off. I believe it was stage, and I chuck it for my leader ability. And I believe here I'm gonna start putting pressure on life, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I swing 9. Yes, I'm gonna swing 9, 9, and I think I have another Vasco in hand, which I do. So I've seen all 3 Vasco shots, which have been getting me out of the big leader swing. So she does trigger an Egghead Luffy, which can KO a 4 cost, but Burgess is unaffected to KO effect, so she chose to choose the Lafitte, which at this point, it's a good choice to hit because it doesn't allow me to search the deck anymore. So it at least is able to clear that. It would have been 1K counter in hand, so not terrible. Here she's asking how she would use the event, which is the Egghead event. For 1 Don, get 3K. But she is unable to do it because she left no Don up. She swung big. So that's where managing the Don and swinging out, you got to make sure you can leave it up, but that comes with time. So I let her know that leader effect is active and that the Burgess is now at a 9. Or no, I think it's still at an 8K actually. And I believe here, this is probably where she plays out the Hody. Maybe she didn't have it until this moment. Yep, so Hody Jones hits the field. On plays do not work, so she is unable to rest my Vasco shot. And she swings 7 with the Hody. I decided to take that one just because I won't lose 2 life. Obviously, you see that the Hody did not turn, but she did swing with him. She's got 2 Don left. Realistically, she could have used leader ability here, and I give 2 rested Dons to the Hody and swung for, I believe, 10. I think Hody was 7, 8. I still would have took the life regardless. And she swings 6. I give her a 2K, which is a stronger. And now it's my turn. I found a 10 drop, but I start to turn first with doing the stage, and I do this to cycle out, look for something else, which I'm just gonna grab the stage to chuck for leader ability. Mainly doing this to get the Burgess up in attack set because now he's a 9K with no Don. And I play out the 10 drop, which is gonna nullify the leader effect for this turn and nullify her character and make it unable to attack until the end of her next turn. So even though Hody is just a rush and on play, it takes away a swing, which is what I want to do. So I swing 5. She counters out of the 5 with the Nami, and I swing 9. Here she uses the Please Save Me event, which gives her +3, and then an Nami, which is another 1, and then S Shark, which is another 1K. Which the S Shark, if 1 Don on, I am unable to activate blocker. So if she was able to establish the S Shark, I would have been in for a world of hurting late game. So I pass turn. Here's where it's a little rough for her because she is unable to swing with the Hody because obviously the 10 drop was activated. But she ends up using this event that caught me off guard because I wasn't expecting it. Don't really see that many Yamatos nowadays, and it wasn't played back in the day, but it was the Demonic Aura 9 Sword style Asura Demon 9 Flash, which up to one of your leader character cards gains plus 3,000 power during this turn. Then you may rest one of your cost 3 or greater characters, and if you did, rest up to one of your opponent's 5 costs or lower. So she ends up resting her Hody since she wasn't able to swing with it regardless, and rests my Vasco shot, which completely caught me off guard. And I believe she's gonna slap the rest of the Don on her leader, so leader's already 8, and she's got 2 Dons separated, so that's 3 on the lead. That's 8 plus another 6, so she's gonna swing for 14k. I believe she's gonna swing at Burgess, and here we're calculating it just because she was saying a different number off the event card, so we were just trying to get the number right just to see what exactly I'm gonna do. And yeah, she swings big, real freaking big. And oh, she swung at life. If she would have swung at the Burgess, she would have honestly got the Burgess, because I believe I only had 2k in hand, which with me blocking with the 10 drop would not have made it. So it just worked out in my favor at that moment. So again, I do stage, I find stage, chuck the stage for leader ability, play a 10 drop, which nullifies the Hody Jones for another turn, swing 5 with my lead, and she gives me a 1k counter, and I swing 9 again with the Burgess, and then here she's gonna counter out with a 3k, so it puts it up to 8 and a hiori, and I pass turn just in case in that off chance she plays something else the rest of the Vasco shot, so that I am willing to give up 2 teaches if I have to. Which I doubt it will happen, just because I do have the extra one just in case. There's no big play that she can really do at this point of the game. Me having that Vasco shot helps out because I don't have to put my teach in any danger, which is what threw the last turn off, because she rested the Vasco shot. Was not expecting it, but Vasco shots in this matchup definitely were the MVP for me. So being able to cycle through the deck with the stage and the Lafitte and to find these things made a big difference in the game. So she just swings big, and I just end up blocking with the Vasco shot. And then here, I'm just going to go for the game, swing big with the Burgess, and I'm going to just swing with teaches. She's actually going to counter out of, I believe, 2 of these swings, the Burgess and the 10 drop, which completely catches me off guard. Was not ready for it. As you see, I grab another 10 drop, but I wasn't going to play it. It'd be too much overkill, but I'm going to completely just swing out, and I'm going to win the game here. And that's that. And like always, if you guys like the concept, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below what you guys thought. And if you see anyone new at locals, make sure you guys are giving them pointers just so that they could get better at the game. You never know who you could help out and make their day just by helping them out. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.